Rainey from Oh So Simply, and I'm excited to introduce you to one of my new friends, Angela Johnson.
Hello, everyone. My name is Angela Johnson Sutherland, and I have been a nanny since 2001. Yeah. But before then, I had preschool, I had a home daycare, worked in the church nursery. So anything that had to do with kids, yeah, that was me. Now I am the director of nanny services. I am also a newborn care specialist. I have been full-time newborn care for the last 2.5 years. But when I started nannying, my first 9 nanny kids were all babies. So I've been doing NCS work. I just finally got certified for it. So yeah, that's me.
Yeah, and we're super excited to have her because she is from Ask the Nanny, by the way, and I will be linking all of her account information all around because also, guys, recently she came out with recipes galore, and they're so, I love it. I love me some short, quick, easy meals because if you don't know me well at all, because you only have to know me a little bit to know that I instant pot absolutely everything. So I'm like, I do not want to be in the kitchen all day. So she recently made that Instagram page, so I will also be linking that, and a Facebook page for that. But as you also know, I don't Facebook. But I'll be linking all her stuff all around in the bio if you're watching there, in the description if you're watching on YouTube, like everywhere. So today we're going to talk about new care specialists and kind of what that looks like in general, but we're really going to be focusing on the contract. So what you need for an NCS contract is going to be different from what you need for a nanny contract as a 1099 self-employed nanny, or even a nanny contract as a W-2 nanny. So first of all, to start, if I'm understanding it correctly, NCSs have to be self-employed. Is that right?
Well, you don't have to be, but most of us are. We are a independent contractor. And what that means is we handle the business. We do all of our interviews. We come up with our own forms. We come up with the plans of how we want to take care of your child, depending on the needs of the family, backup care, anything that we need to take care of the babies, we come up with. It's not well, I'll find a backup babysitter, or you can do this and you can do that. We already come with a plan. It's not a guesswork. And when we interview, we're the one who's asking mom, okay, so how do you want this done? How do you want that done? Did you think about this? Did you think about that? Do you have a sick plan? Do you have a postpartum plan? Do you have all of these things come into play? Because if you're dealing with a new parent, they have no clue what they're going to need. And they have no clue that hormones, after the baby is born, they can be a beast. So having all these things ready to go and in place for the parents is our job. And when we go in and we require deposits, and we require certain things in our contracts, and it's written out in black and white, and we go over in contract so that everything that we put in place, we know what to expect from one another.
Yeah, so if you guys are new to this channel or this podcast, you will know that I am, or you won't yet know, but you soon will, that I am a hardcore advocate for contracts. If you do not have the contract and you're a nanny, you're an NCS, you're any kind of anything, like any job ever, you should have a contract, but especially if you're a nanny or an NCS, because whether you're a W-2 nanny or a 1099 nanny, doesn't matter, you have no HR. So you are your own HR. So you need to have that contract to refer back to. So that brings me to the exciting part where we talk about the contract and kind of what goes in that. So I have a contract over on Etsy that is, I have the W-2 contract, which is for if you're a household employee nanny full-time or part-time. And then we have the 1099 contract, or the self-employed subcontractor, not subcontractor, independent contractor contract. We have that over there on Etsy. And both of those come with the option of getting the complete nanny binder, which is 20% off for the holidays. And this video is super exciting because we will be launching, I will be posting right after I post this video, the NCS contract and then the NCS complete nanny binder package as well. Because as an NCS, if you're self-employed, you do also have to do your taxes and everything, and so you'll need that complete nanny binder, the tax pages and the invoice pages, and everything that comes in that as well. So, first of all, everyone knows that in your contract, you have to have the basics, like your start date, your start time, and your hours. But with NCS jobs, the hours are different because you're overnight. So what does your hourly what does your hourly in your contract typically look like?
Well, it just depends on the family's needs, and that's similar to being a nanny. But with a NCS, we can do 24/7s. We can do the 12-hour shifts. We do 10, 9, 8-hour shifts. I don't think anybody goes below the 8-hour shifts. So it's usually between 8 hours to 24 hours. And in that 24-hour shift, you need at least 4 hours off, because you can't pour from an empty cup.
And I think that's super important, especially, I'm assuming more so with being an NCS, because you're dealing with a new parent who's probably a little frantic and out of their mind. You're dealing with new babies who are definitely frantic and out of their mind. And you've got all of that to control and maintain, and you're doing it on 4 hours of sleep. That seems like a lot.
It is a lot, and I tend not to take those types of jobs. I know my limit, and that's one thing you need to know too. You need to know your limit, and once you figure out what your limit is, then you can base your hours and base your contracts upon that, or seek families who are looking for within your limits. And as far as the hours are concerned, it depends upon the NCS. It depends upon the family. And like you said, that you're dealing with a lot, and it's not just the immediate family. Sometimes mother-in-laws, moms, you have grandma and grandpa there, you have uncles and aunts, people coming to visit. And that's why I ask, do you have this type of schedule? What do you have in place? Because you don't want anyone coming to visit your baby who has been sick or been around someone sick, because your pores as a mom are open, and your immune system is vulnerable. Your baby, fresh to the world, is vulnerable. So have a sick policy. I've had parents who put signs on the door that tell them, if you're coming to visit, if you have been coughing, you have been sneezing, I don't care if you think it's allergies, please visit the baby later. We can Skype, you can see the baby, but you need to be very cautious about who's coming and going in your house and what germs are being coming and going. Have hand sanitizer all over the place. Every 5 seconds, okay, sanitize your hands. And even more so now with COVID. And I most importantly have a postpartum plan in place, because everybody's hormones are different, and you can feel one way before that baby is born, and once that baby is born, when you get those baby blues that come on, there's a difference between the baby blues and full-blown, okay, you're in postpartum, we need some help. I need to know who I need to call, who are your backup people, who are the people who know you the best, so that I can, if I see something that looks weird to me, I can go and ask dad or best friend or mom or whoever there, is this how she acted before the baby was born? Because I want everybody to be happy and healthy.
Yeah, and I always recommend the interview is the best place to start those kinds of conversations. So I am curious, you were saying some people do 12-hour stints, and I know that with the 2-week quarantine, because of COVID, I saw that in your contract, and I'm curious if, which in case I didn't mention. The contract, the NCS contract that'll be on my Etsy is actually the collaboration of me and Miss Angela. So a little bit of her contract, a little bit of my input, we whipped that up.